Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to Live at Lunchtime. Sorry I was off for the last few days. You can't tell from my voice. I have been off with a bit of a cold, so talking hasn't been the greatest thing for me. So I've still got a bit of a stuffy nose and a sore throat, but I'm on the mend. So I thought I would join you today. So what I want to talk about today quickly, because I don't want to talk for ages, is a question that I got asked about providing references for you as the renter when you're working with agents, most commonly, and sometimes landlords when you're working directly with a landlord might ask for a reference. So there's a couple of different options. So often when you're new to business, it's going to be a little bit harder to have that credit reference on your business. So if you've just started a limited company, it may be difficult for that brand new limited company to pass any kind of a reference check because you won't have any history of accounts, any trading history, anything like that. Even a lot of what people say is you need to have at least 3 years of accounts in order for your kind of a credit reference to pass for a limited company. That's not always true. You might be able to get away with a year. You probably have to have at least 1 year of accounts filed for pretty much everyone in order to be able to pass any kind of company reference check. You might not need to have three, but three is kind of the standard. So that's with a limited company. So if you don't have a limited company and you're just working as a sole trader, you're going to be providing a personal guarantee anyways. And in that situation, they would be looking to do a credit reference on you personally. So those are a couple of the situations. So let's talk it through from the limited company side first. So first of all, what if you don't have a company that's been trading long enough to pass the credit references? In that situation, I would say it's worth just having a chat with the agency, especially if it's a smaller, more independent agency, and see what they're really, really concerned about. So, that the credit reference is going to show them. So maybe there's something else that you can provide in place of it. So, if they're looking for credit reports, if they're looking for references from, other suppliers, customers, vendors that you're working with, maybe you could provide that instead. Otherwise, you may have to go down the route of a personal guarantee. So this is basically you providing a guarantee that you will cover the rent in case your business doesn't, and you will be personally liable then for all of the rents and all of the costs. Normally, I would say this should be fine because you should be confident in your business. You should be confident in the deal that you're negotiating. I would say if you're not comfortable providing that personal guarantee, then you probably shouldn't be doing the deal because that means you're really not that comfortable in the deal itself. Now, I know it isn't ideal to constantly providing a personal guarantee for business activities. But it is quite common when you look at the normal business world. A lot of times for higher transactions, even for very well-established companies, banks and other lenders are looking for a personal guarantee from the directors of the company. So it isn't uncommon that that's what would be asked of you as a business owner. And if you are confident in your deal, which you should be, then you should have no problem providing a personal guarantee, and there's going to be no problem. Now, the only problem then that could arise, and this is a situation both as a kind of a self-employed person running your business or as a director giving a personal guarantee on your limited company, is the state of your personal finances. So I know a lot of people getting into rent-to-rent are doing it because they don't have loads of money, and quite a few of you out there I know don't have the best credit score. It could be, for a multitude of different reasons, whether you've had bankruptcy in the past, whether you've not been working for quite a long time, whatever it is, your personal credit report might not be enough to, secure the property for you. So what do you do in that situation? So if you've tried to have your company credit checked, that doesn't work. If you've tried to offer a personal guarantee and have yourself credit checked, and that doesn't work, then you need to really be focusing on talking to the agent, understanding what it is they're looking for, what would give them assurances, and how you can look at bringing, again, providing any other information. So, personal references, other suppliers and vendors that you've worked with, other partners that you've worked with, and they can kind of show that, yes, you've been paying. Any other assets that you can show them that you have so that they know you have a business that's secured on something. The next step would be finding maybe a joint venture partner, family member, somebody you're meeting, networking, and want to work with that can offer that personal guarantee or has a limited company that can guarantee and pass the credit checks. So if your company can't pass, if you can't pass, then and the agent or the landlord isn't willing to look at anything else, then it's time to go and find somebody else that you can work with on a joint venture basis where they can provide kind of the credit rating basically, so they can kind of guarantee the rent in order to pass any credit checks, and you can do kind of all the management, and then you do some kind of a profit share or a fee arrangement for that person. So I know that can sound quite complicated and it can be quite disappointing. There's also options of looking at, can you pay a higher deposit? Can you pay rent in advance? I know some of my the people I've worked with have paid maybe 6 months rent in advance for their first deal, maybe even their first 2 deals, just in order to get them secured. Because the next step is, once you've got that second deal under your belt, then you can show proof of concept. You can have built up that relationship. You can show a good track record. And then it should be a lot easier to go without getting additional credit references and needing additional referencing as you go along. So you probably won't have to keep providing those personal guarantees after that first one. You won't have to keep paying 6 months rent in advance after that first one. Or that second one. It starts to get a lot easier. Plus, you'll be a lot better at negotiating. You'll be a lot more comfortable and confident in what you're saying, which will inspire a lot more confidence in the people that you're working with. So they'll see you as a really viable business. You'll be able to offer them actual case studies, and you should find the need to kind of do those credit references, do those personal guarantees, pay that rent up in advance, decreasing as you grow and build your business. So in the beginning is probably the trickiest time in any kind of business and any kind of property investing. That first deal is always the very hardest one. So once you get over that one, the next ones just get easier and easier and easier. There's always new problems and new things and challenges that come up along the way, but just getting them over the finish line gets easier and easier. So hopefully you found that helpful. Again, ideal is if you've got a limited company, they can just credit reference your company and everything will be fine. If your company can't pass, then you offer a personal guarantee. If your personal guarantee won't work, you can't pass the referencing, look at possibly paying 6 months in advance, whether that's your money or with a joint venture partner, paying an increased deposit, providing any other kind of references, personal references, other business references to the agency. And doing what you can to get those first few through the door. So with that, I'm going to say goodbye because I need to go rest now. So have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I hope the weather gets a bit nicer. And I will see you again on Monday for our deal analysis. So don't forget to send me your deals through. I'd like to have the kind of fresh ones. So, if you send me your deal through this weekend, it's very likely I could pick it for the Monday one because I want to have the most recent ones to be able to look at. So, thank you so much for joining me. If you're just popping on now, sorry, we're just finishing. So, the video will be live and active in a minute, so jump on and watch the full thing from there. So, thank you very much, and I'll see you on Monday.